You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen, and today we're outside Staples on Olds Road because Stock the Lockers is the largest annual campaign for the Nanaimo Ladysmith Schools Foundation. It's extremely important to a large number of families in the central Vancouver Island region. When kids go back to school, they need a lot of supplies. That takes a lot of money. For some families, it's not a problem, but unfortunately for many, it is a huge obstacle to overcome, and that's what this campaign is all about. We'll tell you how you can help and how big the need is later on this edition of The Daily. Also in the lineup, Kevin Stobo is hitting the skies. He's trying out aerial yoga, going circ on us. We are standing right in the middle of the parking lot, but why not, eh? James Green hits the streets in Victoria, finding out about people's personality shortcomings. I don't know if I'd have enough time to participate in that particular story, so I'll just keep things moving along. Kelly Robinson has a feature interview with the Nanaimo artist Russ Moreland. And before we get to any of that, one other thing, very exciting, Marjorie Greaves takes us aboard the Uchuk 3 in the Nootka Sound, but we're going to start things off today with Annette Lucas. There's a 10-year project in Bowser. It's all about carvings. Annette Lucas has more. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4, and today we are at the kickoff for Stock the Lockers. It's the largest fundraiser for the Nanaimo Ladysmith Schools Foundation. The goal is to raise $50,000. Erin Van Steen is the executive director of the Nanaimo Ladysmith Foundation. Why $50,000? That's a lot of money. Big need.
There's a huge need. There's a huge need in our community for school supplies and for the Student Support Fund, which is a fund that we put into all of the schools for our administrators to have access to for kids who need other things besides school supplies: shoes, jackets, eyeglasses, food vouchers, dental work, grad fees, school fees, sports fees. There's all kinds of things that we need to raise money for.
I think one of the things that people aren't very aware of is how big the need is. I mean, you sort of get wrapped up in your own bubble of life and you don't realize that some people are struggling to buy things like shoes for their kids.
You're right. People don't realize, and it's something that our coaches, our counselors, our teachers, our administrators, our secretaries, they face on a daily basis, and it's very challenging for them. So we started this Student Support Fund about 3 years ago, and through the amazing support of our community, it just keeps growing and growing, which it gives an advantage to those kids who otherwise wouldn't have anything.
How many kids are we talking? How many families, if you can get a rough number?
You know what, hundreds. I can't give you a number. The thing is, families come into our community and then they leave, or they move around the community. It's really hard to keep track of. So to put a number on it, we just know that daily we have requests.
And it's heartbreaking. I mean, I've got kids who are going to be in school now, and it's just heartbreaking to think that on top of all the challenges of just being in school, adding feeling less than and not having what other people have. One of the things Aaron O'Reilly was saying off camera is that you do want the cash and not the actual supplies, because say you buy a whole big bulk of orange backpacks, then you're kind of labeled as the poor kid. That's not fun.
No. So that's why through cash we can custom order what those schools need at that time. Each school is different, and each requirement for each grade is different. So it's very generous for people to give donations, but money is what we need, because then we know the need. We know where it needs to go, and we'll fill that need.
Erin, thank you.
Thank you very much.
She's got a long list of people waiting to talk to her, so we'll free her up to do.
Get you a poster before
okay, we're going to get a poster. We're going to put it up in our Shaw building on Boban Drive in Nanaimo. Stock the Lockers campaign is now underway. It runs through until September 6th. You can make your cash or check donations to any of the Staples locations in Nanaimo. We're going to throw things over now to, where are we going next? We're going to head down to the streets of Victoria, where James Green is wandering around asking people about personality shortcomings. But before we do that, it's over to Nootka Sound with Marjorie Greaves. It's a trip aboard the Uchuk 3. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're outside Staples at Olds Road in Nanaimo because Stock the Lockers, the campaign, the largest fundraising campaign for the Nanaimo Ladysmith Schools Foundation, is now underway. Larry Lee is the manager here at Staples at Olds Road. For those who don't know, maybe you weren't listening to other parts of The Daily, what is Stock the Lockers?
Stock Lockers is a annual campaign we have with the foundation to raise money so that all kids going back to school have everything they need. School supplies, food if they need it, clothing, and other things they have at school that they may not be able to afford on their own.
Do you think most people are aware of how big the need is?
I don't think most people in Nanaimo realize how many people are in need. It's about 1 in 5 don't have everything they need when they go back to school for the first day.
That can be crushing for a young child going back to school. A bad experience early on can really affect their learning pattern for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. I think it can certainly lead to dropping out of school if they didn't have a good time at school. They may not want to stay in school. So this gives them a little boost at the beginning every year that they go back with what they need and they don't feel that they're different from the other kids.
Why? What can people do to involve Staples? What role are you guys playing?
We do fundraising here at the stores, so if you're in the store making purchases for your kids going back to school, you'll probably be asked at the checkouts if you'd like to help support the foundation. You have the opportunity there to make a donation, and that's how we do the fundraising.
Okay, Larry, thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck. We hope you get too many donations, too many people through the door that you don't know what to do with all that cash, but that's kind of a silly thing to say because we know exactly what to do with that cash. You donate it to the Nanaimo Ladysmith Schools Foundation. You can do that, as Larry mentioned, at any Staples location in Nanaimo or go directly to the website and do it there. One guy who maybe didn't have such a great time in school because he's, I don't know, here's Kevin Stobo. That's all I can say about him. Kevin Stobo, crazy guy with a great sense of humor. That brings us to the end of this edition of The Daily. Stock the Lockers campaign is now in full swing. It runs through until September the 6th. There is a huge need in the Central Vancouver Island region for money. That money will be used to purchase school supplies that include, of course, the notebooks, clothing as well. It's not fun to go to school with holes in your shoes or shirts that are ripped, and unfortunately that is a reality for many kids in the Central Vancouver Island region. There's also food and breakfast programs that this money will be used towards. You can make your cash donation at any Staples location in Nanaimo. You can also go to an HSBC branch on Olds Road. Donations can be made via cash or check directly through the Nanaimo Ladysmith Schools Foundation, and they have a great website, www.nlsf.ca, where you can do it all. Reach out and help make a school year great for some kids who might be feeling a little bit intimidated. If they're comfortable, they're going to learn more and get a better start at life. Thanks for watching this edition of The Daily. We'll see you next time.